Holly Holm versus Ketlen Vieira. Now, who really won this fight? A controversial fight which was pretty close throughout, and this fight pretty much dictates who's going to be the #1 contender to fight the winner of Pena versus Nunes. And it seems like a lot of people disagree with the decision. The judges had Ketlen Vieira winning the fight 48-47 on a split decision. One judge had it 48-47 for Holly Holm. The only round that was disagreed on was the third round. Holly Holm won the first and the fifth, which I believe everybody agrees with. Ketlen Vieira for sure won the second, and she also got the fourth round on all the judges' scorecards. The third round was the important round to look at, and it seems like a lot of people believe that Holly Holm should have won that round, therefore giving her the 48-47 decision. Well, we're going to look at the third round based on the judging criteria, where damage trumps everything, and we do know that the clinch from Holly Holm potentially could have some effect if the striking is exactly equal. Remember that. Control time against the cage is only going to matter if the striking is even. If it's not even, if Vieira outstruck Holly Holm or Holm outstruck Vieira, that clinch control means nothing. Let's get right into it, man. Starting off the third round, Ketlen Vieira lands a two-punch combination, a right hand that gets over the shoulder as Holly Holm is extending with her own left, trying to get down the center, but her aim is completely off. I mean, just completely missed the chin. Or maybe she was trying to attack the chest. I don't know if this is something that women do against each other, where they attack the chest, but no effect at all. Vieira's right hand connects on Holm, and then she follows up with a big left hook that gets right around the guard, and you can see stuns Holly Holm. This is actually a heavy attack. Holm then touches a knee with a stomp, no real power there at all. Then later touches Vieira with a leg kick, only for Vieira to retaliate, get a leg kick of her own, and you can see the big power difference between the two. When Vieira kicks Holm's leg, her leg goes flying back. This is a medium attack. And then Holly Holm gets countered again. She's coming down the center with that blitzing combination. All of it misses the target as it looks like her eyes are on the ground, not at Vieira, and she gets hit behind the ear by a right hook that stumbles her balance. This is another medium attack. Vieira is able to catch Holm again, this time by skidding, grazing a high kick that you can see has some effect on Holly Holm, another medium attack. This can also be argued to be a heavy, but I just don't think it had enough impact to make it a heavy. Then we finally get into the clinch. This is what a lot of people are talking about for Holly Holm. She lands 5 knees to the leg and 2 punches to the face, all light attacks. Vieira is able to land a knee to the body, another light attack, as Holm attacks the leg later and then goes up to the body with a side kick, which didn't really have much effect on Ketlen Vieira, but it did push her back. Perhaps we can make this a medium attack, but we'll come back to it if we have to adjust it. For argument's sake, given the maximum damage to Holly Holm, we'll make it a medium. Holm then lands another side kick to the body. This one doesn't have as much of an effect, and then goes up to the top with a question mark kick that lightly taps Vieira. And then finally we get to Holly Holm's biggest strike so far. Over halfway through the round, she lands a push kick that gets the biggest reaction out of Vieira. This is a medium attack, and then Vieira gets on the offensive, steps off on the outside foot against the opposite stance fighter, and lands a pretty good right straight down the center. This is not enough for a heavy attack in my opinion. Didn't have that kind of effect because Holly Holm was moving away from the punch, and you can see it just lands right at the end of it. When you look at the first shot that stunned Holly Holm, you can see a clear difference in the effect. Then they both get into an exchange, landing hooks on each other, but Vieira's has a little bit more power. Hers is going to be a medium, while Holly Holm's is a light, as hers was not effective at all, and Vieira's able to land another right hand to the body as well. Then we get to the clinch. Vieira lands a knee to the body, Holly Holm gets a foot stomp, a knee to the leg, and then 15 punches to the face. Most of them are actually partially blocked by Vieira. All of them light attacks. And Vieira also gets some output in there as well. She lands 4 slaps and 7 knees to the body. One of them is definitely a medium attack. We could even argue some more for medium, as every single one of those knees had more effect than each of Holly Holm's punches. So you can even argue all of the knees are medium attacks, but one of them is definitely one. We'll go back if we have to adjust that and make it more damaging. Holm lands another knee to the leg, and then when they're disengaging from the clinch, Vieira lands a crushing right straight that gets Holly Holm to backpedal. She attacks even further, gets right inside a clinch range, and lands a big elbow on Holly Holm. And Holly Holm lands a good side kick to the body as well. And then she attacks the leg with it, but keeps it on the leg a little bit too long, to the point where Vieira was able to grab it and blast Holly Holm with a right hook. That is definitely a heavy attack right there. Holm lands 2 low blows that didn't get seen by Goltref Herzog, and then she lands 2 knees to the leg to end the round. By tallying up all the damage, Holly Holm landed 37 light strikes compared to 14 of Vieira's. That's nearly triple the amount, but Vieira landed nearly double the medium attacks, 7 to 3, and she landed 3 heavy while Holly Holm had 0. Holm had 40 total strikes and Vieira had 24. But the damage was so apparently different. Holly Holm did almost nothing to hurt Vieira in the entire round, while Holm was actually stunned a couple times in the round. And according to the judging criteria, immediate damage trumps cumulative. Holm was trying to stack up on the cumulative damage. Ultimately, that didn't even amount to anything, and definitely didn't compare to Vieira's damage in the round. And Vieira's light strikes were heavier than Holm's light strikes. And I gave Holm the benefit of the doubt just to make a point. I didn't need to give her those 2 low blows. That first side kick to the body could have been a light attack. And even there was some argument for Vieira to have more medium and heavy strikes. So ultimately, did the judges score the fight correctly? Yes. Ketlen Vieira won the fight 48-47. She won that 3rd round, ultimately giving her the decision, and she is the #1 contender for that bantamweight title fight. I know a lot of people are arguing for Holly Holm's clinch work, specifically her clinch control, but again, it doesn't mean anything. Vieira outstruck her. She has the damage. Striking has to be 100% even if you want to go to that department, if you want to go to control and stuff like that, but then again, control is not even judged at that point. You have to go to aggression. After aggression is octagon control. So there's no way you could even credit or judge Holly Holm's clinch control. So Ketlen Vieira for sure won the fight. A decent performance by her. And I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. And if you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, enjoy my content. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. And I'll see you guys in the next video.